Alright, gang, it's been a great week. Georgia beats Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl. They're going to play Alabama Monday night here in Atlanta. I'm not in Atlanta, I'm outside of Athens, hometown Bulldogs. Been riding on a high all week. Now my Falcons are playing tonight, so I canceled all my plans. And I got a little bit of time. I was about to say a few minutes, but I got a little bit of time, so I'm going to make a video real quick. Now, I have several of these plastic cases that were half full. Fooled. Anyway, I have several of them, so I combined them and emptied out about 6 cases. So I decided a while back just to start filling them up with cars from my childhood. So all the cars in this case I picked up at trade shops, antique stores, yard sales, flea markets, except for one, and I'll show you that one. It's a Hot Wheel car I never knew they put out, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. So let's check this out. Alright, this was a blast to find. It's what they call a scorcher, a Hot Wheel scorcher. It's a Camaro Z28. Now as a kid, I actually bought one of these off the shelf or off the rack. Basically what it is it's got a little band in it. You pull the car backwards and release it, and it just takes off. Got rubber tires on the back, and it works. Cannot tell you what happened to that car. It's gone for the ages, but when I saw that one, I grabbed it. But at the same time, bam, there's a Thunderbird, just same setup. Got the band in it. It works, as does the Torino. And I have a white Thunderbird, patriotic motif. These two Thunderbirds are from like the late 70s, big bodied, squared off, ugly Thunderbirds. Now people are wanting them. Nobody wanted them at one time. Now this is what really irritates me about Hot Wheels. I'm a Ford guy, and I'm sorry about all the shaking, I'm trying to do my best, but Hot Wheels doesn't put out many variants of Ford cars and trucks. But they throw out all kind of Chevys and Dodges like you would not believe. Here's a casting that they have. Why don't they re-release this? Probably never will. Alright, so I'm going to go all the way back across because there's one more. After I got all the Scorchers, I started looking into it. They had all kind of different Scorchers. They actually have a Dodge Magnum. I wanted to get one of those. I'm probably going to end up buying it off of eBay because I have kept my eyes out and I have not found any more Scorchers since I found these, and I got these first of the summer 2017. Alright, so the next car, Black Wall Cutlass Fire Chief. Man, that thing's sweet. And behind it, the police car with red lines. Now this car right here was a favorite. I remember when it came out, I had bought one. Loved the car. I'm not a Jaguar fan at all, but that car was just a good looking car. So I bought it, had it forever, repainted it green, and I have no idea what happened to it. I probably sold it in a box lot or something. Now let me skip that one. Alright, now I have an orange Sun again already. Sorry about the focusing, got a whole camera here. And it's in another case. And I knew they had a blue one, but I did not know they had a green one. And I also saw them, and I never bought it, and I kind of wish I did, from Magnum PI, TC's Volkswagen. Maybe I'll hunt one down. But anyway, the blue one's got little tiny chip marks on it, and some discoloration on the plastic part of the roof that lifts up, and it does lift up. It's not damaged, as does that one. Now I was told that could be a recent release within like the past 10 years maybe. There's not a ding, scratch, or anything on that one. It is perfect. And then there's that Jag. Alright, these cars right here, there's 4 of them in there. I don't know, I can't remember what they're called. Are they called X2s maybe? The one I remember is the white one, and it just reminded me of something Evel Knievel would have been in. Grasshopper. I remember having one of these, it might have been a hand-me-down. I ran across this one, and it's a red line as well. And I was wondering if it's supposed to have a top on it, so I get to looking, and they sold them with a top, but it had another motor in the bed and without the top. So, and this one may not have had a top on it, so I'm not gonna worry about it. It's a cool little Hot Wheel. The green show horse, I got a yellow one in another case. I had a green one just like this one when I was a kid, much like the Jaguar. I painted it and it's gone. Alright, there's a story behind this. Another video I did, there was a He-Man car that I mentioned. I bought something from a guy on eBay, and when the package arrived, this He-Man car was in there. So I sent him a note, said, hey dude, there's a He-Man car in here, what are we going to do about it, how to get it back to you. He told me to keep it, and that was a long time ago. I get home and there's a small box in the mailbox. I open it up, and it's this van. It's a redline van. The tampos are pretty gone. Chrome van with flames. And I thought, I didn't buy that. So I sent the dude a note, because he had his little eBay store information on there. And he told me that he recorded that I contacted him about the car that he sent me, and asked him how I need to get it back to him, and he told me to keep it. And he said because I was honest with him, he sent me this van. I thought it was pretty nice of him. I mean, honesty pays. Another super van. Oh yeah, by the way, love super vans. Favorite Hot Wheel car. That one's in really awesome shape. That's called the Letter Getter. Now, as a kid, this is something I wouldn't get, but it's pretty cool looking. I couldn't pass it up. And after I got it, I started looking on YouTube to see what I could learn about this thing. And I came across a channel called The Car Case, and the guy's name is Johnny Roman. Look him up, man. He's really neat, really entertaining. Love this truck. Orange is one of my favorite colors. Unfortunately, the handlebars on the motorcycles are gone, but it's a keeper. Bronco, oh my gosh, best truck in the world. Now, in another video, I had this 57 Thunderbird in a massive paint loss, and I mentioned that when Hot Wheels were first given away by McDonald's, they were just a regular packaging, like the car bubble wrap, the plastic bubble around the car stuck on cardboard. And I got this style Thunderbird, same color, at McDonald's. Open it up, paint's gone, but the car's in really good shape. So another video, I think I posted it. I have a second one with good paint, just like this one. So this is actually number 3, number 4. Now I have a white one. It's got a porthole in it. The porthole predates, I think, because I think the porthole versions were the first Thunderbirds that Hot Wheels put out. Let me step back. They had a Thunderbird in the 60s. I think it was a convertible. But then this one came out in the 80s, maybe. Late 70s, early 80s. And it's a hard top with a porthole. Got the generic police car in really good shape. And not one, but 2 yellow Thunderbirds with portholes. Alright, now I never had a black Baja breaker until, a couple of years ago. I got one that's not in as good a shape, but man, this one's pristine. The hood opens and closes on it. It's great. But I got 2 of them. Whoops, there's the second one. And here's another. I know I got a couple of these in really good shape. The Baja breaker in green. The Ranger truck. Never had this, but I had a friend growing up in the 70s. Her dad was a Ranger and park ranger, and she had this. It was a girl. She had this little Hot Wheel truck. Because back then, she was the only girl around, and she wanted to hang with us. She had to have Hot Wheels, so she had a Ranger truck. This is a cool Baja breaker. I never had this one before, so I grabbed this one. I figured it must be part of a set. Like maybe it came with a couple other vehicles, off-road vehicles or something. Well, this is a scene machine. Now, I don't have any other scene machines that I'm aware of. I have to go back and look. Sorry for the shaking. But when you look into the back of this one, you'll see a picture of a man sitting on a motorcycle. It's pretty cool, and the hood's in awesome shape. Interesting thing is I checked it out on eBay, and that version there can go pretty high. I've seen them selling for like 25, 30 bucks. It's not for sale. And another pristine orange Baja Breaker. I love Ford vans. Been trying to reclaim this one for a while. Now it's got some paint chips and all on it, but it's a redline Monza 22 in green. I got an orange one from my childhood, now I got my green one replaced. Bubble Trouble or Trouble Bubble. Never had this one as a kid, but this one's in awesome shape. And I have a red one somewhere. Just gotta find it again. It's not as good shape as this one, but it's intact. Now this race car, I'm figuring it must be like a Formula 1 style race car. Now I remember seeing pictures that this car was a real race car, and I want to say it had a Ford engine in it. The RC car company, Tamiya or Tamiya, however you want to say it, I call it Tamiya, been corrected several times. They actually have a kit you can buy and build. It's a pretty cool looking car, and that's in pristine shape. Another super van, 18 ripoff maybe. That's what I'm saying. Nothing wrong with that one. Backwoods Bomb, redline. You know, I really don't care if they're redlines or not. I just pick them up when the ones I like. I posted another video where I thought I got an original one, never opened. Come to find out they re-released this sucker. But I'm still happy with have this one. Wish it was green. I'm not a blue person. Larry's Towing. Now there's a show on the Velocity channel of a guy that owns a junkyard, and they'll build cars and sell them. And the guy that designed this Hot Wheel truck still works for Hot Wheels apparently, and his name is Larry something. He actually, in that episode, he was talking about he had his phone number on that blue block above Larry's, and kids were calling him. So they had to go through there and block out his phone number. So I go back on eBay instantly, and sure enough, some of the older ones have that phone number on there. It's pretty interesting. Never was a fan of this van, but I'm a comic book freak. Now I think I have another Hulk van somewhere. It's not in as good shape as this one, but this one's a lot better, so I have that one. GMC Camper, Captain America. Now I gotta go back and look. I want to say they also had a Trans Am painted white with Captain America on it. I might have to put it on the list of stuff to keep an eye out for. Another Thor super van. I've got one already. Maybe I have two. I know one for sure, but this one's in really good shape. Now this Bronco, looking at the wheels, I'm saying 90s, but it's a Bronco. I'm not passing it up. GMC Camper, the Palm Beach. I have mine from my childhood, and I got a couple others, and I think the other color was green. I got a green one too, and I think a black one. Anyway, I know I got a few of them. Human Torch funny car. I never was a fan of Human Torch. Hair Splitter, another one of these. Always a cool car. Now here's the eBay buy. Now when I worked for Nationwide's Auto Parts, which has gone out of business, I got to drive one of these from Athens to Gainesville. It was a black Escort GT, and that was a stout little car. But this is the one I got off of eBay, and it's in really good shape. There is a little bit of wear on the there's a little bit of wear on the striping, but when you see them on eBay, if they are perfect, for some reason they go pretty high, and they have an alternate color. I think it's yellow. I'd like to find one of those, but we'll see. But the reason why I got that one off eBay is because of this one. Old beater. And that seems like in most of my cases I always have these two cars, one green, one silver, old Datsuns, and there's another set. And then I have this camper. I think I have another one I picked up recently, and here's another brown one. A little rough, but it's still okay. Alright gang, I'm sorry about the shakiness. Can't do much about it with my hands. They are what they are. But I'm going to give you a tip if you like hot tea. That is awesome. Good Earth brand, sweet and spicy. I was turned on to it at work last week, and that's all I've been drinking. I used to never drink hot tea because I thought it was like for sissies and stuff like that, and rich snotty people. when I was a little kid, I was working with my dad one weekend, and he took me to a Japanese restaurant to eat, and he drank hot tea. Now everybody says this about their dads. My dad was a true badass. Ex-Marine, ex-boxer, knows some judo. I mean, the man was a tough man, and he was drinking hot tea, so, you know, if he can drink it, I can drink it. But that stuff is good. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna get ready to go watch my game. Hope you guys like this video. If there's a car you want to see more detail on, drop me a line. It could be any of the other videos. If there's a car in any of the videos, I never mentioned that, but I don't mind pulling it out and do a separate video on it upon request. It might take me a little bit of time to get it there, but I'll get it there for you. Alright, gang, thanks for viewing this one. Have a great day.